Let's talk about when an IRS audit turns dangerous. How exactly do taxpayers get pulled into criminal tax investigations? What happens when the IRS decides your case isn't just about money anymore? Most taxpayers believe an IRS audit is simply about correcting mistakes or paying past due balance, but the truth of the matter is far more serious. A routine IRS audit can quietly transform into a criminal tax investigation without the IRS ever telling you or your representative. The signs are subtle. You know what? The consequences are life-changing. And if you say the wrong thing at the wrong moment, or, most commonly, let the wrong tax professional talk to the IRS, you may accidentally hand them the evidence they need to criminally prosecute you. Before you respond to anything, you need to understand how an IRS audit becomes dangerous. Hi, I'm David W. Klasing. I'm a tax attorney and a CPA, and for nearly 30 years, I've defended clients in high-risk tax audits, civil fraud cases, eggshell and reverse eggshell audits, and full-blown criminal tax investigation. In my experience, I've seen seemingly civil audits spiral into months of surveillance by the IRS Criminal Tax Investigation Division if the wrong person handles it. I've seen bank summons, special agent involvement, and if your audit turns dangerous, you need to know how to survive it. IRS civil and criminal tax enforcement has changed dramatically over the past couple of years. With new federal funding, advanced AI system, and expanded data matching tool, the IRS is readily detecting unreported income, unreported crypto transactions, cash-heavy tax-evasive business patterns, unreported foreign account activity, repeated patterns of non-remittance or intentionally underreporting payroll taxes, aggressive, fraudulent deductions, suspicious banking activity. Listen, the modern IRS doesn't hunt anymore. It tracks, using mandatory data streams from banks, crypto exchanges, brokerages, payment apps, payroll providers, and many, many more. If your numbers don't match their model, your IRS audit is already high risk out of the gate. Here's how a civil audit becomes criminal. IRS auditors are trained to spot signs of intentional fraud. And when they see them, they have several choices. They can stop the exam immediately and refer your case to the IRS Criminal Investigation Division. This often happens quietly, though. Sudden pauses in communication, unexplained gaps in requests, increased document demands, or parallel records pulled from banks and third parties, or the auditor refusing to give guidance at all. Once the Criminal Investigation Division takes over your file, you simply won't know. They build cases silently and clandestinely. By the time special agents appear at your door, criminal tax investigation is already well developed. Here's some signs your audit is no longer just about money. Watch for these red flags. The auditor asks repeated questions about cash or why questions focused on your intent. Why did you do something? They request personal bank statements. They ask about crypto activity. They request explanations focused on your lifestyle compared to your reported income. They ask about foreign accounts. They ask to interview employees, business associates, tax or accounting service providers, or family. They insist on meeting you at your business location or personal residence. These are patterns of a reverse eggshell audit, where the IRS suspects willfulness but keeps the audit civil long enough to gather some evidence. The biggest mistake? Letting an accountant talk to the IRS, especially the original preparer. Most criminal tax cases begin the same way. A taxpayer lets their accountant or preparer contact the IRS. Here's the problem. Accountants have no attorney-client privilege. Anything you tell them or share with them via emails, draft returns, verbal explanations, documents, it can all be subpoenaed and handed directly to the IRS criminal tax investigators that are working in the background. Worse yet, an accountant may unknowingly make statements that can be interpreted as criminal tax admissions on your behalf, or they can admit to wrongdoing on your behalf. Many times they'll be doing this attempting to defend their own reputation at your expense. This is why so many cases escalate unnecessarily. Your tax preparer throwing you under the bus to attempt to protect their reputation. Once they're sure fraud occurred, they want to make sure the government knows they weren't a part of it, which sticks you under the bus. Here's what the IRS looks at when building a criminal tax case. The IRS focuses on patterns of behavior, including repeated underreporting of income, false or fraudulent deductions, off-the-books net taxable income, unreported crypto or staking income, hidden or unreported cash deposits, personal expenses claimed as business expenses, destroyed or missing records, unexplained bank transfers or hidden accounts, round number estimates without disclosure that estimates were used on the return, use of nominees or related entities to hide income. A single mistake rarely triggers criminal tax prosecution or 75% fraud penalties. Patterns of behavior do, however. Here's how we go about defending high-risk IRS audits. When we take on a dangerous audit, also known as an eggshell audit or reverse eggshell audit, we take over all communications with the IRS. We immediately protect you through attorney-client and work product privilege. We reconstruct income and deductions via our internal Codell accountants that work directly for the firm. We separate civil issues from potential criminal tax issues. We identify and mitigate, where possible, indications of willful fraud. We develop explanations backed by real evidence. We control what documents are produced and what are not. We prevent the audit from escalating into a criminal tax referral. That's the whole goal. Handled correctly, an eggshell audit often can be resolved before CI ever becomes involved. Handled incorrectly with a wrong representative, it becomes a potential criminal tax case followed by criminal tax prosecution. Here's what you should never do during a high-risk audit. Do not speak casually or relaxed to the auditor. They are not your friend. Do not volunteer information that they did not request. Do not produce documents without legal review first. Do not guess when answering their questions. Do not let your original accountant or taxpayer represent you, or any accountant for that matter. Do not let any accountant represent you. Know when to hire a tax defense attorney. Do not attempt to fix or recreate records without legal counsel. Do not attempt to explain your intent, ever. Do not meet or correspond with the IRS without legal counsel. Here's the bottom line. Anything you say can and will be used to establish willfulness for tax crimes, which facilitates prosecution of tax crimes. So, in closing, if you've been contacted by the IRS, or if something about your audit feels off, don't wait for the IRS to make the next move. One misstep can turn an IRS civil examination into a federal criminal tax investigation. Call the tax law offices of David W. Klasing at 800-681-1295 or visit KlasingAssociates.com to schedule a confidential, reduced-rate initial consultation today. We'll protect your rights, we're going to control the narrative, and whatever happens, we're going to prevent your IRS audit from morphing into a federal criminal tax investigation, thus preventing federal or state criminal tax prosecution.